When people first find out that I work at Microsoft, they always ask, well, what do you do? And that's a very loaded question because I'm really just like any other high school student. I wake up in the morning, get dressed, hop on a bus, go to school, hop on another bus, go to work, hop on another bus, go home, eat, watch my favorite TV show, and then do my homework and go to sleep. And so when I try to answer people in the best way possible what kind of my job description says, but mostly what my goals are. And I try to explain to them that Microsoft is giving me the skills in order to really become a great business professional in the future when I leave Microsoft.
So my manager is definitely one of the craziest managers in the math program. He's super chill. Everybody just loves him. Whenever I have our one-on-ones, we just talk about either his life or my life. Probably barely about like my experience here, but I wouldn't have it any other way. He cracks jokes. He jokes about just the weirdest stuff, but it kind of balances out. It kind of balances out because I have another kind of like half manager who's pretty like not strict, but like gets things done and is still pretty chill. So I'm pretty blessed to have these two amazing managers.
Ways I balance my time is I have a calendar on my phone. I also have a calendar on my computer as well, so it tells me what I'm doing daily. So even though I'm going to school, I still have that in my calendar saying I'm doing something. And then I also have what time I'm working, and then although I'm working, I want to know what I'm doing while I'm working. So I put that on my calendar, and so that way if anybody asks me, can you do this on this time, this day, you can just check your calendar, and you just say, alright, I'm doing it, you're not. Also, if you need to reschedule with the other person, you can just say, yeah, I can reschedule. Some other ways I do it is, I also write a list out what I'm doing later on the week if I know I'm going to do something. And it also helps, polish it.
So in the summer of 2011, I found an application online, an advertisement, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I want to do it for a DigiGirls, the DigiGirls camp, the 1-week technology camp here at the Redmond campus. And so I was like, cool, that's what I want to do that because I want to learn more about science, technology, stuff like that. And I thought Microsoft would be like the best place to start learning about that. And I was like, oh, I want to do something like that in the future. And I was like, I want to work here at Microsoft because, there were all these cool women. The atmosphere was really cool. It was so diverse, like free sodas and everything was just very welcoming, and people were really nice to each other, and it seemed like it was like the perfect environment. I knew I would fit in perfectly. So then a year later I found the application for the MAT program, and I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity for me to do this. And then I applied and I got the interview and a couple times with lots of interviewers, including Deanna. And then I left to go to Dominican Republic, and I didn't think I was going to get the internship because I was away while they called to inform people about their decision. And I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to get it. And then I came back, and a week later, Deanna called me and she was like, you made the cut and you're accepted. Do you want to do the program? And I was like, I'll think about it. And then I confirmed. So it was a very adventurous process to get here.
Besides becoming more business savvy, I think the MAP program has really helped me just become a more mature person. I think along the lines of how to present yourself, how to greet yourself correctly, emailing, and just minor details that you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't be exposed to unless you had formal training. So I feel a lot more ready to go into the workforce and a lot more ready for any type of career.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that with this program, it's kind of in a sense to prepare yourself for the future. So the biggest thing was coming into the program I saw was that it kind of prepared me in a sense for what I want to do in the future, specifically more along marketing and business. So with what I do a lot of marketing to small and medium businesses and organizing different Windows projects. So with that, it helps me with like organization skills, presenting different projects, preparing things as far as presentations go. So it helps me just kind of develop a sense of tools that I'll use in the future, hopefully, if I ever work at Microsoft again.
My commute every day is pretty hectic. I go to school, high school every morning, and then I go after high school. I would have to go to Central, have to go to work straight after my college classes. And then sometimes I have night classes, so I have to go to my night class straight after work. So I usually get home around 6 to 9. It's pretty hectic. There's barely any free time when I get home. But overall, it's a great experience.
My commute is very pretty complex. I'll usually be driving exactly from Federal Way. Okay, I'll be driving from Federal Way, and that is about 26 and a half miles away, so that's a pretty far distance. And I'll be usually traveling on the I-405, which is pretty historically known as the worst freeway out here probably in the nation, just packed with traffic. And so overall, commuting from Federal Way to Microsoft was not the only thing I was a part of. I was also part of first robotics team that I started here in Washington, and so that I was pretty committed with first robotics, and so right after Microsoft, I would drive right back to Federal Way, again 26.5 miles, and basically spend my whole night with the robotics club and do my homework after 9.